everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Bears going up against the Cowboys. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call on this Week 3 matchup.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the all-time leading passer in Vanderbilt history, the veteran quarterback. It's Jay Cutler.
And while it probably hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Jay Cutler throughout his career because he's had a lot of different coaches and offensive coordinators, it also has made him extremely adaptable. There's not anything he hasn't seen or done on offense in the NFL.
They'll run for the first time with Jeremy Langford. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. We see this offense, and we see Jeremy Langford, certainly a guy to watch in this game.
He plays a game with great determination, Brandon. In college, he played multiple positions before settling in at running back. He made the right choice.
2nd down, 8. Langford again. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. A good-looking run there by Jeremy Langford.
And what I've always liked about him has been not just his versatility, but his perseverance. I think he's one of those backs that gets better as the game goes on and he gets increased carries. Does have some good toughness running inside. I remember when he was at Michigan State, at one point I did a game of his. He was listed as third-team left corner. Played cornerback, receiver, and running back for the Spartans.
Won a couple of Big Ten titles there as well. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
As Darius Slay continues to improve at the quarterback position, he may live up to his own nickname as the Slaymaker.
So we've got a 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
On 3rd down, Cutler. And this is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jaquiz Rodgers there. And that's going to make it 4th down. Now Pat O'Donnell, the third-year man from Miami, to kick it away. Lucky Whitehead back deep for Dallas. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback, fully healed from that shoulder injury last season. It's the 14-year veteran, Tony Romo.
One of the best ways to sum up Tony Romo, from undrafted to invaluable. The Cowboys need him on the field, under center, to realize their dreams of trying to get to the Super Bowl.
Now Tony Romo on first down. Gets it to Gordon. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They run with a rookie. Here's Elliott. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on 3rd down. Off play action. Romo surveying the field. He's going to rifle. That's caught inside the 20.
Pass interference. Defense.
And with the big gain, they'll go ahead and decline the penalty. And now a 1st down following that long gain. After the penalty, it's Elliott. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And here are the Chicago defensive starters.
Pernell McPherson's a strong run-stuffing outside linebacker who's beginning to blossom as a pass rusher.
So 2nd and 10 here. They go to Elliott again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. That 2nd down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Well, that's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on 1st down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short.
That's complete right around the 8. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play, and result, touchdown.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. On the return, this is Jacquizz Rodgers. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection or if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do, and if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude him? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up a third down. And there, the man coverage not good enough, partner, and they're able to complete the pass.
Excellent recognition of the man coverage, and they found the guy who could win downfield.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. The first carry here for Jacquizz Rodgers. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
To the ground, this time Langford. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They keep it on the ground with Langford. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. So Langford the carry there, 4th-round pick last year with Forte vacating to New York. A lot of the spotlight on Langford.
A lot of running backs have possibilities in Chicago. If he can emerge and eat up carries, I think he'll produce in a big way.
Langford, and he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. From midfield now, here's Cutler. Completion left side to Miller. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. On 2nd down, Cutler. He's got the hook up to Miller. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll try to run for the first with Langford. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
It's Rodgers. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
The tight end, Tony Moeaki, the intended target. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. On 3rd down, Jeremy Langford. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. 1 quarter down. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. That is caught inside the 5. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Zach Miller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And now here come the Cowboys. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. How about a 6th-round pick that turns in 1,000-yard seasons his first 3 years in the NFL? That's Alfred Morris.
Yeah, that's productive. Fell off a little bit, though, last year in 2015.
And that's exactly why he's in Dallas and no longer in Washington.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So good for the Buckeyes last year, and he's taken that from the college game, showing some glimpses of it here in the NFL.
How about his last season with Ohio State? Over 1,800 yards, only 1 game where he didn't get over 100. Remember, he demanded the ball from then on out. I think they listened to him, and they were smart to do so.
And now they're giving it to him here on the next level. Now a play fake here on first down. To the right side, complete to Escobar. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be a 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Throwing on 3rd down, Romo. He's got his man. It's Williams. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are in for 6. Well, that was the fly route for a touchdown, and since he caught that one and scored it, I got to tell the story. Before the game, we were standing there. He was running deep routes, dropped one. It bounced up and just hit me right in the gut, and I said, come on, man, but there was no drop.
Yeah, you okay now?
I'm good.
All right,
I'm good.
We got the ice pack up here. You're just fine. What I loved about it was the subtlety of the route, because everyone knows he's fast. They're going to play him for that route first and foremost, but sometimes it's a head fake. It's varying your speed off the line of scrimmage. It's giving the defensive back different angles to think about. Is he going inside? Is he going outside? And then, as you noted, he just took off past him. Oops, there he goes again.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, here's Cutler. Checks it underneath to Langford. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This is Langford on 1st and 10. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now Cutler to throw on 2nd down. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On 3rd down, Cutler. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Tony Romo marches back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean 1st half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter.
Offense. Still first down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Romo gives to Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Bryant, the lone receiver, left. Here's Romo. He's got time in the pocket. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Play action. It's Romo. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Des Bryant, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. That's taken at around the 40. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll run with Langford to begin the drive. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll run the option left. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. Now they'll look to throw it with Cutler. And he's going to go down way back at the 42-yard line. The reigning defensive player of the year, J.J. Watt, in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And on third down, the Cowboys bringing an extra defensive back. Play action. It's Cutler. Going to look deep for Wilson. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 2nd down, here's Romo. And this is incomplete. The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. And it'll be 3rd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Finding time. Looking for his tight end, Witten, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it. Receivers work all the time on making sure they catch the ball, haul it into their bodies before they turn and run. A little bit of loss of focus on that play.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Cutler. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. A reminder coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Cutler. Eddie Royal is intended target, and it'll be 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Bears defense now back onto the field. They had the interception last time, led to a field goal.
And kept points off the board against them as well. What a great way to end a drive. Take it away and set your offense up to put points on the board themselves.
The only thing would have been better, a touchdown. Now they'll be looking to get the stop and lead to that here on the next drive. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Bryant with a catch right side. 7 yards on the play, and it's a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Let's go.
Here's Romo now on second down, and he whips that one incomplete there. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time, and they're going to face a third down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Back to throw, Romo. He's got his man, it's Williams. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
In man coverage, your #1 cardinal rule, don't get beat deep. And that's why the comeback route is so effective, because that's how they're selling it, Brandon. Taking you all the way upfield before breaking it back down.
Watch right. Get ready. 180. Hey, Mike's 50. 180.
Romo here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. From the 50, it's Romo. That's complete. It's Gordon. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now a first down throw, Romo. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. On first down, it's Romo. Out left side here to Bryant. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So they're operating in the red zone. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Romo throwing again. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Romo. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll come out in the pistol. On 2nd and 10, Romo. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, partner, the hitch sure looks like a simple route, but I think the issue with it is a lot of time when you're making that play, you're actually working your way back inside towards traffic where the big guys are coming from inside out, whether it's defensive ends or linebackers. And a lot of the time, instead of securing the pass, your eyes might stray towards the middle and wonder where the big hit's going to come from.
Now Romo on 3rd and goal. He's got time. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
This is taken at the 3. Oh, he shifts past him. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Cowboys have not been bashful these last 2 weeks when it comes to throwing the football. The Bears are finding out firsthand they'll have to deal with this passing attack if they want to win. All right, let's get it going. Here's the first half highlights. Cowboys have it at the 7. Elliott's going to stay between the tackles. He caps off the 7-play drive with the score. Now they've got it at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10. Williams is found on the quick pass and catch, and this will go as a touchdown. That puts them up by a touchdown. Midway through the second quarter, to once again sack the QB. This one ends up as a loss of 11. So that's it for us. We'll go back now under the lights for the second half of this Sunday night matchup.
Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here's the Bears defense as they head out to set up shop now. They're losing here as we begin the third quarter, trying to stop this from being a bigger deficit.
I used to play for a coach who always talked about getting the other team's attention. And in this case, they want to let them know that you're going to do the dictating from here on out, not the other way around.
Trying to impose their will as we start the third. Now Tony Romo on 1st down. Gets it to Gordon. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
To throw on second down is Romo. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
And there was a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. Throwing throwing on third down. Romo. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now fourth down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Langford. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Now it's Langford. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. On the ground, Rodgers. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Another carry now for Rodgers. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Cutler looking to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
This is Jeremy Langford's 20th carry, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. This will be the 8th play of the drive here, 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Only a yard of the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. Oh, nice move. And he's brought down. 12 yards on the pickup, and it'll be first down, Cowboys.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And the Cowboys are going to get a first down. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. A play fake to Morris. Now Romo. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Help me out, partner. Was that incomplete?
That was on a deep ball to Dez.
And that's a surprise. The way he attacks the football in the air, it's always surprising to me when he doesn't complete a pass like that.
Romo now to throw it. Complete to Jason Witten. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down.
And another reception by Jason Witten. All reliable for Tony Romo. You know what they say, partner. Once you get your first 1,000 catches, it's all gravy after that.
Yeah, one of two tight ends. He and Tony Gonzalez in the 1,000-catch club in the tight end department. One man in the backfield, Elliott. He'll get it running right. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those two TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point try by Bailey. And the lead is up to 14. Now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The drive starts with a carry by Langford across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
The best defensive lineman They play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
On second down, Langford. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now. But no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. We focus our attention on the Bears defense now. They're hoping to keep this margin right where it is, trailing third quarter. Don't want to get down anymore.
You're exactly right. They're in no position to give up any more points. They have to keep it in a spot where if their offense does catch a spark and get hot, they've got a chance to come back and win this game.
I guess the word manageable, you always want to keep it manageable, right?
Make sure that the game doesn't get away, and mentally you look up at the scoreboard and say, there's no chance of us coming back.
23 yards on the play. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
20! And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And he keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now back onto the field. Here comes the Cowboys defense. They were able to force that 3 and out. That led to a touchdown. Defenses obviously love 3 and outs. They want more of that.
They created a very short and not too sweet stint for the offense by getting them off the field that fast, but it set up their own offense, gave them a little spark, and they took it downfield and scored.
Now the question, can they do it again? Let's see. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. On second down, Cutler. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. 8 yards still remaining here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Fielded at the 20. Oh, little 360. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
2nd down following the run. One man in the backfield, Elliott. And they'll give it to him here. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take.
This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Terrence Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Bailey now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Hey, boys, we got 4. 180.
Now Cutler to throw on 2nd down. They go screenplay to Langford. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll throw on 1st down with Cutler. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Cutler. He's got that one complete to Eddie Royal. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
they've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. And following that penalty, the offense really backed up now on third down. On third down, Cutler. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. They'll run with Elliott. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. And they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Gets it to Gordon. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Ooh, with a juke. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And the Cowboys defense, they march back out onto the field. They did their job last go-around, forced the punt, hoping for more of that here.
They got off the field. That's exactly what they wanted to accomplish. Get off the field, turn the ball over to their offense, and kick back and enjoy a little bit of water and rest before they have to go back out there again.
Back out there now and hoping to hurry up and get more water and rest. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On 2nd down, here's Cutler. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Greg Hardy in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016.
But, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean, they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on 3rd down after that sack. Here's Cutler. On the left side, a catch by White. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been terrific so far. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Cowboys. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards on the pickup, and it'll be first down, Cowboys.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football?
Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it. And you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Play clock winding down. Romo hands to Elliott. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and down to about the 47-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. All right, partner, still pretty early in the season here, but it always feels good to be undefeated.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what part of the season. When you're putting together wins like this, every team will take that type of a record. Gives you confidence for the rest of the year going on.
So for Dallas, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.